Have you ever wondered if vision boards work? I've created vision boards since 2017. Here is an example of my 2025 vision board. You can see 2025 focus was getting myself out there, which I did do. And I said both online and in person, I did accomplish that. I have my superpowers on here. I have my goal, my big term goal, which is I want to be a professional coach, a mindfulness meditation teacher, and I still do that. What else do I have on here? Go to events with intention to serve others, which I've done. I want to show up for my business and my family, which I feel I've done. And then on this side, I do have a second side. This here is reflections on milestones that I have achieved, along with some other pictures of things that I've envisioned for my business for this year, my manifesto, and these are affirmations I believe I wrote, which I didn't really use, so I don't think I'll do that again. And I don't think I'll put my manifesto back on because I really didn't look at it this year. But I found it helpful, but I'm wondering if I can make vision boards more effective, at least for me. And I feel that combining mindfulness and coaching tools could be very effective. And that makes the most sense. As I have said, I'm a mindfulness meditation teacher and a coach. So my goal for this channel is to accomplish 2 tasks. The first is to teach you how to use the mindfulness method to create a vision board. And the second is for you to follow my journey, and actually more for me to follow my journey. And I plan to update about every 2 weeks, starting from today, which is January 1st, 2026, and going all the way to December 31st, 2026. I want to see how this mindfulness method that I've created, can help create a more effective vision board and help me to achieve more of my business goals and my family goals and personal goals. And I hope that if you're following along, that this method helps you, and I'd really like to hear from you how the mindfulness method worked for you. So let's move into the method. Our first step will be to become, I'm just explaining the method, then we'll move into it. So we're going to step into the present moment and taking a few deep breaths, and then reflect on 2025. I really feel that reflection is super important. We don't know where to go if we don't know where we've been, and we don't want to keep making the same, creating the same challenges over and over and over again if we can be more aware of what's going on. And so we'll do this by, I'll ask you some questions and we'll stay present as I guide you. And I'm going to give you space to reflect and make notes. So please have some paper with you and a pen or a pencil, markers, crayons, whatever you need. But if at any point you need more time, just simply pause the video and take your time, because mindfulness isn't about speed, it's about taking it slow, being present with what you're feeling. But if you are having some big feelings, some big emotions, and you need to walk away from the video and come back, I encourage you to do that as well. So next, we'll continue to be present, and I'm going to ask you some questions about 2026. And it's really important, again, to give yourself time to not rush through those questions. Just sit with them, write down things that are coming up for you, and then we will move into creating our vision boards based on the information that you've gathered from the questions that I've asked you and the time you've taken to reflect. And as we're creating our vision boards, I'm going to step off camera. So there will be a time in which it'll just stop, and then I'll come back and I will show you the vision board that I've created, because I'm moving through this process with you. And then I'm going to discuss my vision board, because it's a good way to hold myself accountable by having saying it out loud, saying it to others. So I encourage you to do the same. You don't have to create a video. You could ask a friend to just pop by and just say, hey, this is my vision board. This is what I'm doing. In fact, if you'd like, do this exercise with a friend, and then you can share it together as you're moving through the steps. And after discussing my vision board, I'm going to discuss some goals using the SMART framework that came from my vision board, and what next steps I'm going to take. Again, holding myself accountable. But before we begin, I want to talk about the different materials that we can use for our vision boards. Vision boards can be created with anything and however you want to do it. You don't have to have a physical one. You can do them online. You don't even have to do it online. You can create using Word or Pages, whatever document type of application you have on your laptop. What else can you use? You can create a book instead of a board if that works for you. You can do it by words, by speaking into your phone or some other application. You can be as creative as you want with making a vision board. I'd like to show you what I have so far for my vision board for this year. And my first this is just a foam board, and it's a blank one. You can see that. And I'm going to cut it in half. I do that for two reasons. Oftentimes in the middle of the year, I feel the urge to create another vision board. I don't always do that, but then I have a vision board for the next year if I want to. These are very inexpensive. I live in Canada, and this board was $1.50, so really, like, cutting it in half, it's 75 cents. So because I am cutting this in half, I'll need like an X-Acto knife, because scissors don't really cut foam board really well. What else? You can use markers, pencil crayons, pens, pencils, whatever you have, whatever paint, whatever works for you. You can use a canvas board. I've used a cork board before. So then let's talk about, this is double-sided tape or Scotch tape. You can use staples, you can use thumbtacks. What else do we have? I bought these at the dollar store, just letters, because I thought maybe something popping out. And then I have string lights, because I was thinking, why not try making it a little bit brighter, more interesting to look at. I hadn't decided which one to use, but I grabbed one of each. And then I do have some magazines, but if you don't have magazines, you can draw, paint. You can go on Google, go into images and print off different images that resonate with your vision. And then finally, one last thing before we get into it. When can you make a vision board? This vision board is being started January 1st, 2026, only because I had a thought about it 2 days ago. I was like, oh, I think I want to do my vision board. I actually bought these materials back in October, thinking I was going to do a vision board in October, but then became busy and just didn't get around to it. But I felt inspired, and that is the most important feeling you should have when you're making a vision board, the inspiration. You don't need to do it on a Monday. You don't need to do it January 1st. In fact, most times I haven't started a vision board until February. Usually it's February, mid-February, but that 2025 vision board I didn't create until I think March last year because I had a gallbladder attack and I just had to navigate that for quite some time and just didn't get around to it. So lots of people, like I said, I created a second vision board in June. But if you are new to vision boards and it's November, that doesn't matter. It's about the inspiration to do it, and that's all I really need to say about that. Just do it whenever the mood strikes for you. Make some room here and get my paper ready. Alright, so I have pen and paper, and we're getting comfortable in a seated position. You can close your eyes or just cast them downwards. The important part is just to start to find a present moment, just find some stillness. If your brain is on overload and starting to talk a lot, maybe take a moment to write down the thoughts that are coming into your head, even if it doesn't pertain to your vision board or to the question I've asked you. Just kind of free flow and just let whatever come out, come out. Okay? So, relaxing. Let's start with taking in a few deep breaths. And on your next exhale, just bringing your breath back to its natural flow. Just focusing on maybe where you feel your breath the most. Perhaps it's your nose, your chest, your belly. Let's move into our first question. This question's regarding 2025. What were some highlights of 2025? What went well in 2025? Just as a reminder to go from work, family, health, spiritually, etc., whatever comes up for you. Just making some notes. And then moving back into your breath. Let's now reflect on some challenges that you had in 2025. These could be challenges you overcame, maybe challenges that are still lingering. And just writing down what's come up for you. Moving back into your breath. Thinking about 2025. What brought you joy in 2025? And again, just writing down thoughts that come up for you. And then moving back into your breath. Let's move into focusing on 2026, the year ahead. Just focusing on your breath. Maybe feeling into your body. Okay. And how do you want to feel in 2026? Feelings can be emotions, your body. What do you want to feel? And moving back into our breath when you're ready. What is one big goal you have for 2026? And writing down. If more than one goal came up, just write down everything that comes into your head. And if your mind has gone blank, that's okay. Just move back into your breath. And our final question before completing our vision boards. What pictures or words, symbols, whatever comes to mind, would you like to have on your vision board? once you're finished writing, just moving back into your breath one final time. Just sitting in this present moment. Just noticing your body, maybe different thoughts that are coming up. Is your inner critic saying anything? Mine is saying, this is too big, you're not going to accomplish anything. I'm not going to resist this. I'm just going to sit with it. I'm going to be curious and ask, what makes my inner critic think that I want to accomplish this? And I'm going to sit and listen. My inner critic keeps saying this is too big. I know there's fear there. Fear of failing. But I don't know if I don't try. And based on 2025, I can do what I set my mind to. So I'm going to thank my inner critic for allowing me to realize that I have fear. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep moving forward. And then back into my breath. And I'm going to start to wiggle my toes and my fingers. And then I'm going to slowly open my eyes. And this is where we're going to part for a little while I create my vision board, and I hope that you're creating yours, and then we'll come back and I will discuss my vision board and the different goals that have come from it. Okay, see you in a bit. Welcome back. So it's been a few hours. I needed to eat my dinner, so that took some time, and just picking out the pictures and the words that were resonating with me today to create this vision board for 2026. And I'm going to do the big reveal right now. Okay. Quite proud of this one because it was, here we go. So it's a little bit tall. I'm going to move back a bit so you can see the whole thing. So yes, as I had said earlier, I had these lights and I thought this would be neat to use for my vision board. So I'll try to do this the best I can. So with the vision board, you can see that emergence is the word that is really big and in the middle. And through working through the mindfulness method process, that's the word that came up and resonated most with me in my business. And because, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, getting yourself out there and getting your business going There are highs and lows, and sometimes the lows feel really low, and sometimes the highs feel pretty high. But realizing that the last couple of years I've been laying the foundation for my business, and so I look forward to 2026 as my emergence year. Really blossoming this business into what I believe and love about coaching and mindfulness. So as you can also see, my 2025 vision board had get myself out there, and I still have that on here. It's not as big because I know I can do it, and but I still wanted it there as a reminder of there's no time to slack, you got to keep going. And this side is pretty much all business, like the programs that I want to put out. I have a book that I want to get published. This represents getting more clients. This represents going to conventions, either as a patron or I guess I'm leaning more heavily on having a table, but I really need this book published in order to do that. Not that I couldn't do the table without it, it's just that's what I want. It's hard to do this backwards. So over here is a female speaker. I want to do more speaking engagements, so I have that as a representation. Up here, it's hard to see because of the color, but that's one of my brand colors, and that says new friends. So I'm always looking for new friends, so have that in there. And then here, love and family. I have some moving boxes because I think there might be a move coming my way, and I want to be excited about it and prepared. And then down here, symbolizing retreats, wanting to go to some retreats and also create more of my own retreats. And then here, this is symbolizing for me both meditation and spirituality. And then the tree here is a part of emergence, showing the roots that, I've planted in the foundation. And then again, it's hard to see, but that says acceptance. And then friends and family, those are really important to me. Your only limits is your mind. That's a good reminder for me because sometimes I can talk myself out of things. Motivation, just a reminder, keep staying motivated. This is a prosperity tree, just to remind me, that prosperity is important to me. And as for most people, you have a business, you want it to make money. Support, always looking for support and to support others. Sitting with your feelings. This is a big one for me because it's something that I practice, and I don't always do it well. I know I'm judging myself, but I'd like to do better at it. The Empowered Mind Framework, that's the framework I created last year that I'm quite proud of, and I want to keep moving with that because I believe in it, and it's quite powerful. Mind is for mindfulness, M is for mindfulness, I is for intuition, N is for nurturing compassion, and D is for decisive clarity. All very important things in coaching and in mindfulness meditation. And then over here, I have health, strength, flexibility, and I actually follow this woman on YouTube. She's wonderful, and if you're over 50, she's a great person to follow for exercises. So I thought that was neat when I found hers in Google, and so I had to put her on. And that's just about being more active. My previous career, I really was quite active. I didn't sit very much, and being a mindfulness meditation teacher, owning my own business, being a coach. I find that I'm sitting a lot more. So I'd like to improve that for 2026. Underneath the Empowered Mind framework is, of course, self-compassion. That's one of my passions and one of my biggest talking points when I speak to people about my business is self-compassion. So that had to be there. Of course, community. Being a business owner and also someone who wants to bring in more self-compassion, community is really important. And it's just a reminder that I want to create more community, be in my community, serve my community. And then I found this: contentment is the art of finding joy in simplicity. And it's a good reminder. And my goal is to be more content, not really happy, because happiness is a fleeting moment, where contentment is even when you're in challenges, you have underneath all of that, there's still contentment, and that's what I strive for. And then I have networking, because if you are new to business and you're watching this, or perhaps you're thinking about owning a business, networking is super important. Whether that means you go to a networking group or you have a group of people you can pull from, super important. And then I love this, the little snail pushing up a huge boulder, which is probably more like a pebble to it, but just to show perseverance, something that I've already proven to myself, but a good reminder that as a business owner, as a female going through perimenopause, a wife, a mother, perseverance is a necessity in life. So that is my vision board. Now, what I'd like to do before I sign off on this video is to talk about some goals that I would like to focus on. I'm going to say for the next month, and even though I'm saying for the next month, these goals will probably, some of them will move into like the next months after that, or maybe I'll finish some earlier, so, and then pick up other ones. So what I'd like to do is first say, what goals came from this, and then kind of decide what goals I'll actually start working on, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm babbling right now, but I'm very excited about this vision board. It was really a great experience so far. Oh, and before I go on, I think another reason why this vision board took a little bit longer is that when I was looking for pictures, when I was thinking about words, even though we had done that together already, I decided to sit with it again and just kind of take another moment before picking pictures. Even when they came up on the screen, it was just kind of looking at them and just allowing some of them to resonate, and if they didn't, then move on. So the goals that came from this vision board for 2026 are: explore my spirituality more, be more active, get more speaking engagements, publish my book, go to wellness conventions and look at getting a table for wellness conventions, and finally get my programs that I've created started and offered. So they're good goals, and they're all really important, but I don't want to do them all at once because that would be too overwhelming. So be more active. I can definitely start that because I already have. So being more active, let's do the SMART framework for that. Specifically, I want to be either walking or doing an exercise routine daily. So I normally walk with a friend for about an hour, so that's no problem. And the days that I don't do that, I'd like to be doing a 30-minute, I was going to say 20, but I think I'll do a 30-minute workout from YouTube. Is it measurable? Yes. I should write this down. I will weigh myself, and I'll start that tomorrow. So Friday 2nd, I will weigh myself and measure myself. So that's a way of measuring that goal. Is it achievable? Absolutely. I have always been, not always, but since having had my son, I've been very active and I followed routines very well. Is it relevant? Absolutely. I want to stay strong and healthy, especially as I'm getting older. I need to build more strength. Oh, that's the other thing. I need to remember to pull my weights out. All right. Time bound. Yep. I'm going to do all my measuring tomorrow, and I will do one exercise video for 30 minutes tomorrow. And I've already said that I would do that daily, taking off one day on the weekend, because if you do it too much, you're going to hurt yourself. So we want to be safe as well. So 6 days a week. Okay. So that is goal 1. Exploring my spirituality more. I think I'm going to put that one off right now, only because, and I might start it next week or even the week after, but I'm going to hold off on that because although it feels relevant right now, I'm not too sure how I want to do that. So I'm going to put that off. Get more speaking engagements. That one I am going to start. So specifically, I'm going to make this one a little bit easier so it doesn't feel too overwhelming. I want to get one speaking engagement. One new speaking engagement, because I do technically have one in February. So get one new speaking engagement by, I am going to say February 15th, 2026. So that is pretty specific. Is it measurable? Yes, when I have it, I will know it. Because I will have a date for when that will happen. Is it achievable? Yes, because I've had 3 already, so I know I can do it. Is it relevant? Absolutely. It helps move my business forward. And time bound, I put February 15th. Alrighty. And then the last thing that I'm going to work on over the next couple of weeks into the end of January will be to get my program started and offered. That will mean specifically going to networking events, and offering it, as well as the one program requires me to go out to different health practitioners such as massage therapists, physiotherapists, that kind of thing, because I have a chronic pain program that I'd like to offer. and I thought they would be a good partner to have in that. So I am going to go out to visit. Okay, so for the next couple of weeks, because this is a difficult one, it's actually putting myself out there, and there's fear there, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to say visit 3 health practitioners. Um, is it achievable? Absolutely. I can go out there and visit people, and if I don't go out there and I don't tell them what I have to offer, then how are they going to find me, right? So it's definitely achievable. I just have to go out there and do it. Is it relevant? Absolutely. It's relevant for my business and time bound. I will visit these 3 practitioners by January 15th, 2026. Okay, so that's really not a lot, and if I exceed that, then good for me, but if I don't, that's okay. So those are the 3 that I'm going to start over starting now, starting tomorrow, because really it's 8:45 p.m. I'm not going to be going out and talking to anybody. And I'm definitely not going to be active because I've been doing a lot of work the last 2 days, and I'm going to take a break because it's important to rest. So, starting tomorrow, I will put some or all of these into action, and then in 2 weeks' time, so around January 15th, 14th, or 15th, there will be another video in which I will be updating you on my progress. Again, keeping me accountable, but also we're going to be focusing as well on the vision board. What I've done in the last 2 weeks, have I looked at the vision board? What kind of feelings I have looking at the vision board? Has it helped me to build confidence when going out and talking to people such as the health practitioners? Just all those kinds of questions that we're going to answer along the way and see how this journey goes for me. And then, as always, if you are on this journey with me, I would really like to hear about your experiences. I want to know what's on your vision board. If you have any questions, if you just want to reach out and say hi, I'm really excited to hear from anyone who's watching this. So, until January 14th or 15th, take care, wishing you peace, and I'll see you later.